Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is something that you guys all want to know, especially those in my vlog channel, and I've touched about this subject on my main channel too. So in case I don't put up another video before Tuesday, which is highly unlikely, happy Halloween guys. These are my cool Halloween nails. Right, so this video is going to be all about Australia. I'm going to be telling the whole story, so hopefully you guys understand the situation and I won't have to keep explaining myself, especially in my vlogs. But I'm putting this as a main channel video just because it's going to help you guys out from in the future, because my video content is probably going to change as I change country. So I am not Australian. I was born in the UK. I've lived in the UK most of my life. I've lived in the UK more than I've lived in Australia. So when I was about 11 years old, my parents decided to move to Australia, and that was like a thing that we did. Our whole family just got up and moved, and then I lived in Australia till I was about 17. I did pretty much all of high school in Australia, but I did most of my primary school in the UK. So I lived up in the UK, and this is going to be a bit confusing for you guys, but hopefully it will make more sense now. So I lived in the UK up until I was about 11, moved to Australia. I think I did 1 year of primary school, and then I went to secondary school in Australia, or high school, secondary school, whatever you want to call it. And I did all of that in Australia. Then once I finished secondary school, I then decided that I wanted to come back to England for a holiday, and see my family, see my friends. So I did that, and I stayed here for about 3-4 months. Then I had to go back to Australia because I was starting university. This brings us around, I finished secondary school in 2013. So I stayed at the end of 2013. I went back to England, and I stayed there to the beginning of 2014, and that's when I started university. I did my first year of nursing at university, and then my health started getting bad, so I had to drop out basically, and I didn't continue with that. Then I worked brings us to 2015 now. So I did university all of 2014, then it brings us to the beginning of 2015, and I worked from about just before beginning of 2015, so probably about December through to October of 2015. But during 2015, that is when Tom came out to Australia, and he stayed with us for 3 months. And then me and Tom decided that we wanted to move back to the UK, so me and Tom both moved back to the UK together. Now you guys are probably wondering whereabouts in this story me and Tom actually met. Now we actually met back in 2013 when I came for a holiday. So yes, my parents, my sister, all my family, my immediate family do still live in Australia. They've never come back to England with me. We've come on holidays as a family, but when I've come by myself, it's just been me. So me and Tom had met in that year 2013 after I finished secondary school, and I came for that holiday. That's when me and Tom met. We started our long distance relationship probably the end of 2013, beginning of 2014. So me and Tom were in a relationship for over 1.5 years before he came to Australia and stayed with us. So that was the first time that we had proper spent time together in person, but we still do count that 1.5 years as being in a relationship. We FaceTimed every day, we texted every day, we were non-stop talking to each other all the time. Anyway, so that brings us to the present. Then after Tom had come, 2015. Sorry if this is confusing guys, I really hope it's not, and I really hope you guys understand. So then it brings us back to 2015. Tom came to Australia from about July to October, and then like I said, we decided to come back to the UK, and we've lived here ever since. But now we've decided the UK is not for us. It's not really got the opportunities here that we want. It's not got I mean, obviously guys, my grandparents, both of our sets of grandparents live here. Tom's parents live here. Pretty much all of our family and friends live here, and the only people that live in Australia is my mum and dad and my sister. And I have a couple of aunties and uncles and second cousins and stuff like that live there. But apart from that, everybody else lives in the UK. So that's the mainly the reason we decided to come back in the first place, is because we thought it was a place we wanted to live. And obviously I had to meet Tom's parents. I couldn't just be like, hey, you can stay in Australia and never see your parents ever again. But over the course of the last two and a half years or so, we've realised that, you know, England's not really the best option for us, for the lifestyle that we want, stuff like that, certain jobs that we want to start our own business, and it's just not really the environment to live that kind of life in. And obviously guys, we're young, and you know, we've got our whole lives ahead of us, and sometimes it's just one of those things where you just have to kind of put things into perspective, like, is this the place that you want to bring your children up in, kind of thing. Like, if me and Tom were to have children in the future, I definitely wouldn't want to bring them up in the UK. I feel like this is a very serious conversation, but it's something that we've really thoroughly talked about, and his parents understand, my parents understand if I wanted to stay here. Like, at the end of the day, guys, you have to do what you've got to do. It's your life, and you only get one chance to live it. So as of November the 6th, 2017, we will be leaving the UK for good to go emigrate and live in Australia. Now, I am an Australian citizen, so I don't have a problem getting into the country. Tom is getting a visa out there, and we're going to get a partner. Sorry, my camera keeps being rubbish and not focusing. So Tom is going to get a partnership visa, because we have been together for, it'll be 4 years in January that we have been together. So he's gonna get a partnership visa, and that's how he's gonna get into the country. And then hopefully within the next couple of years, we've already started saving for our house. We've put savings away, so hopefully we'll be able to start building our house in the next couple of years. And I'm just really excited to start the next chapter of my life, guys. It's gonna be absolutely amazing. And I just want to quickly address the health situation, because you guys asked me, like, how are you going to pay for it? How's it going to work when you go to Australia? How is your healthcare situation going to work? So I started to get ill around the age of 16, 17. That's when things started to really go downhill for me, which is at the end of my first year of university. That's when things started to change. So I was under doctors, I was under specialists there, so it's not going to be as hard for me to get healthcare, because I can just go back to the same doctors. But I will have to get referrals to things like a gastro and a dietitian and stuff like that. But there's already specialties that I am under, like cardiology, general medicine, hematology, gynecology, things like that, guys. I'm under those specialties already. I do have a GP there. They do have some of my history, so I'm not too worried about that. And I do have health insurance. I'm on my parents' health insurance, so that's that kind of covered. I have Medicare. I can't really remember exactly how it works, and I'm pretty sure I am entitled to get help from the government if I need it. But I am gonna try and get a job when I get there, guys. I know it's going to be stressful, but it's going to be something really casual, hopefully only like 1 or 2 shifts a week, as I build up my strength towards more shifts. But that is how I'm going to do the healthcare side of things. I'm taking 2 weeks supply of feed with me when we leave England, so I'll have exactly 2 weeks supply so I'll have basically 2 weeks to sort out the feed situation, which means getting a referral to a dietitian, and then getting my feed, my giving sets, my syringes sorted out. So hopefully that will all go quite smoothly. But I do have a chunky folder with all my medical history in, so I'm just gonna obviously take that and show that to the doctors in Australia. But all in all, guys, I do think it's going to work out. Don't worry, I'm not just swanning into a country and scabbing off everybody. Like, you know, I've lived there, guys. I've worked there. Yeah, so I hope that does answer the medical part of things, because a lot of you are asking me, like, how are you going to pay for it? How's it going to work? Like, oh my gosh, kind of thing. So I hope that answered that. Yeah, so I hope that I'm just going to briefly kind of summarise what we've just gone over. So I lived in the UK up until I was 11. Then I moved to Australia, and I stayed there till I was roughly 17. Then I came back to the UK at the age of, I was gonna say 19? Yeah, at the age of 19. And now me and Tom are gonna move back to Australia together. But yeah, I am English, guys. I'm not Australian. I've just lived in Australia for a period of my life, and I got my citizenship while I was there. So yeah, here's to the next chapter, I guess. But do leave questions down below, guys, because obviously I'm sure there's questions I haven't answered, but I just wanted to explain the story, because I get so many questions asking why you suddenly moving to Australia. But a lot of you don't know that I've actually lived there before, and I did pretty much my entire secondary school there. I have friends there, you know, just like I have friends in the UK. But anyway, do leave your questions down below, guys. If you guys have questions that I haven't answered, which I'm sure you guys do, I will answer them in the comments. But please also help me out. If you see people commenting asking Australia questions, do just tell them, hey, there's a video about this, like you can go check it out, because that would help me out loads, because I get so many comments on it and it's really hard to reply to everyone. But I love you guys. Please give this video a big thumbs up, because just you got to, because I've finally done it. I finally made the Australia video. Anyway guys, I shall see you in my next video. I love you all so much. Please subscribe to this channel. We've just hit 3,000 subscribers. That is insane. And I guess I'll see you guys soon.